This is the Mokwheel Tarmac. This bike hits a lot of highs and is pretty fun to ride. I've got some thoughts on it, so stay tuned and we'll check it out. First of all, I'm going to say Mokwheel did send me this bike. This is the third Mokwheel bike I have reviewed, and I say no to a lot of bikes, but when Mokwheel says they have one, I am usually going to say yes, because every bike they've sent me has been a winner, and the Tarmac is no exception. This bike is unique because it has 29-inch tires, which you don't really see very often on e-bikes. 29-inch tires for me are great for an e-bike because they allow you to roll over things easily, and they make the bike very rugged and able to go off-road or on-road, but not so heavy that it's impossible to put on a bike rack or something. This would fit on my bike rack without any problem. It is a heavy bike, but it's not crazy heavy like some of the ones we've reviewed recently. A few other things that I like about this bike, aside from the 29-inch tires, is first of all the look of it. I like how they integrated the headlight right into the frame. I like how they integrated the taillight into the luggage rack back here. And by the way, I actually really like this luggage rack. We've already used it for a couple of drone things where we've had a bag on the back with all the drone equipment, ridden it to where we're going to fly, and it's been great to have back there. The taillights are also integrated in the frame on the back on the bottom. The battery is integrated into the frame as well. It's removable with a key, but it's in there and it's protected. It just looks really sharp and really clean. It has hydraulic disc brakes, which I think are pretty much mandatory for any higher end e-bike. It's got a Shimano shifter. It's got these nice grips that I really like on the handle grips here. I also really like this screen that's on it. I like that it's a little more low profile. I also like the fact that you can take this off very easily. When you take it off, the bike actually won't start. You can't start it up. So take this off with you when you go inside, and someone wouldn't be able to steal the bike in electric mode. They'd have to actually ride it in manual mode, lock your bike. But what's cool is there's two little levers underneath here, and when you put this down and squeeze and put it back on, it's secure. It's not going anywhere, and then your bike will start right up when you push power. This screen was super easy to put on. It's not as big and bulky as some of the other screens on other e-bikes. It's a little more streamlined, so it feels like it's going to be a little less likely to get damaged or something if you put it into a vehicle or if something hits it. And I like the brightness and the look of this screen a lot. But it is definitely not visible with polarized sunglasses, which is a little bit of a bummer. This bike actually does have turn signals, which I have not used very much, but I think if I go ride this downtown or in a busy area, it's great to be able to signal which way you're going on the bike. There's just two little arrows, you push them and they turn it on and off. But getting into the guts of this bike, it's got one thing that's a little different. It has a combination torque and cadence sensor. A torque sensor is the kind of sensor that's in higher end bikes and allows you to pedal, and it only gives you power based on how much you're pedaling. A cadence sensor just automatically takes you to whatever power it has as soon as you start pedaling. So cadence sensors tend to be a little more jerky and lurchy, whereas torque sensors tend to be a little smoother, but they require a little more work. What Mokwheel seems to have done is to somehow combine a torque and a cadence sensor so that you get the feeling you're riding a torque sensor when you start out and it's smooth, it doesn't just jerk as you go forward, but then a cadence sensor once you get going so that it's easier to keep up speed. It's strange for me because I've ridden both. I've never ridden a combination before, and I thought it was a torque sensor at first, and then I was like, well, maybe it's a cadence sensor. Sometimes you can't tell the difference, especially after you're already riding, and on this one you certainly can't, but it does give you what is supposed to be the best of both worlds from a cadence and a torque sensor. It's got a 750 watt motor, which is plenty powerful, and it kind of needs it for a bike this size. And again, it's really a great bike for taller, larger people. The capacity is 350 pounds, so I can ride it with something on the back, with cargo on the back, groceries, drones, whatever I want to put back there, and it's going to be just fine. And it feels really comfortable to ride because it's got a little more of an upright stance with the handlebars than some of the other bikes where you have to hunch over a little more. It's supposed to have a 60-mile range. Chris and I have been riding it for the last few days as we've been filming different B-roll and actually using it for another video that we're filming just as a way to test a drone following a bike. We've only charged it once, and I think it's still like 2/3 or 3/4 full after a week of riding it. And so it seems to have plenty of range on the battery. But of course, that's going to depend on how much you pedal and whether you're going up hills and stuff like that. It does have a throttle if you want to use that. So some people like that. Where I find the throttle to be really handy is when you're trying to get going on this bike, because it is kind of heavy. It gives you a little boost to start off, and then you can start pedaling, and then you don't need the throttle anymore, or you can just use the throttle. It's totally up to you. Instead of a horn, this bike has this little bell, which sounds a little muted because it's pressed up against other things. But if you're riding on a trail and you want someone to get out of the way, it's a good way to do it. Hey, I'm riding here. We are putting together a video about how to assemble e-bikes just in general, and this one is actually the bike we assembled in that video. It was fairly straightforward to assemble. Always good to have somebody to help you do that, but I don't remember there being any big challenges putting this together, the usual things that you get wrapped around. Watch that video if you've never assembled an e-bike and want to know how to do it. So I think this bike is for a slightly taller, maybe bigger type person. I don't think this would be a great bike if you're a small or shorter person, but if you're tall like me, it is fairly easy to get on and off. It doesn't have a step-through version, so you're always going to have to be able to swing your leg up over like that. And if you have stuff on the back, it can be a little bit challenging. But to me, this bike feels like a really good solid fit. It reminds me a lot of my non-electric mountain bike. So if you're thinking about an all-around bike that you can ride in a lot of places on and off-road that is going to have plenty of power and not feel like a million-pound motorcycle type bike, but feel more like you're riding a regular bike, the Tarmac would definitely be a good one to consider. To me, this feels like I'm riding a regular bike, but it has that extra power of an e-bike. Let us know what you think about the Mokwheel Tarmac. If you have any questions, just ask them in the comments. We're happy to answer. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. And there's my review of the Mokwheel Tarmac. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I think Chris has been doing a lot of riding recently, so he's going pretty fast and strong, going up some steep hills. And he's not on an e-bike. He's just on a regular old bike, getting some actual workout.